Hello and welcome back to Trainz Plus. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And for today's video, I thought I would take a look at the Cornish Main Line and branches. This is a route that was created for Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, so it is some 6 years old now. But I want to see how it runs in Trainz Plus, whether there are some issues, whether it looks any better, and also looking at it from a perspective of if they were to update this, what sort of updates would be required. Obviously, when we looked at the Settle and Carlisle line a couple of videos ago, that one appeared to need a lot of updates because it was a very old line, and just working around one of the stations took quite a long time. Admittedly, in the surveyor I wasn't exactly the best because I was still trying to figure out how to do things, but I want to see what this particular line looks like, or this particular route looks like in Trainz Plus. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started, and the route of choice today, or the session of choice today, is probably going to be I think I'll probably let's take this one, shall we? Helston passenger run. So morning passenger service from Helston to Gwynia Road, where the mainline passenger services will take the passengers to their designations. I'm sure that's supposed to say destinations, but there we go. Designations. Enjoy the scenery the line has to offer. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking a look. I mean, that doesn't look too bad, though the car does look like it's just sort of stuck in the bushes, but I think that's just because of shadows. Maybe the shadows will look better in Trainz Plus. So let's see what this is like. Interesting. GWR has appeared on. That's an old train, that's one. Oh, welcome to Helston. This morning you're in charge of taking the local train from Helston to Gwynia Road, where the passengers will be able to transfer to the mainline trains. Currently we're just a locomotive. History facts of the line. The Helston branch was an 8.5 mile long, 4 foot 8.5 standard gauge railway branch line, and is the southernmost branch line in the United Kingdom. First opened in 1887 and was absorbed by the Great Western Railway in 1898, continuing existence as the Helston branch. The line is no longer there. Passenger trains on the line closed 3rd of November 1962. Goods trains had an additional 2 years before the line ceased on the 4th of October 1964. The tracks were lifted by mid-1965. Well, that's a shame, as something is going on over there. At the moment, your train isn't ready, so the local shunter is getting the coaches for you. Ah! Excellent, so that is what is going on here. I have learnt that I can press P to pause, and I need to figure out what the... get rid of... what's the... show interface is F5, so P and F5 will probably be my friend today when it comes to actually and that will be my friend today when it comes to actually taking pictures of whatever this is. Now, I've noticed that things texture wise look pretty poor already, but apart from the textures, there is an interesting lighting effect here. It's almost as if it's really weird, but it is almost as if I am looking at this with a weird filter of some sort. But it could just be the way the day, I don't know, it's a bit of an overcast day and it just looks a bit strange. Now, I do have the various different controls, so you do have the simple controls, the complex controls, and the one that doesn't show anything. I would use this one but I'm not entirely... I've just noticed where it says boiler pressure high, and I have no idea how to stop that. How do I drop the boiler pressure? Interior is not terrible. That could do with a bit of work. The water gauge could do with some work. But it isn't the absolute worst. Cleaning some of this up. See, if they spent, and having done modelling and texturing and the like, you could improve this in, so these textures, in less than a day. This is less than a day's work to improve these textures. Get the new textures, pop them in, without remodeling anything. And then of course you'd probably want to start remodeling some of this stuff. Boiler pressure high. What do I do? If I open the cylinder drain, I don't know what that is. I'm going to turn it anyway. Let's see if I can get the boiler pressure to come down. That's going to be my train, isn't it? Oh, there goes a tank engine. I use those tank engines in my Transport Fever 2 series, I believe. Very, very useful. So, I assume I'm going to have to go up there, reverse back, and come back down here. That's going to be what I think I have to do. I just do not know how to drop the boiler pressure. Now, things I've turned, that one doesn't tell me what it is. I was hoping this drain would work. Not sanding lever. What's that down there? Cut off. Oh, that's just that. What's that? Doesn't tell me. It's some sort of injector. That's some sort of injector as well. Those are water injectors. There's my regulator. That's my firebox. How do I... I'm just thinking, how do I actually get the coal out from here? Because this is all... Ah. Do I open... No? I have no idea. I'm still waiting for that train to do something. Where are you going? Oh, you're probably going to go down there now and do work with those three carriages, I assume. No, you're coming along here. All right. Fine by me. Let's see if I can run with this boiler pressure high. See what happens. I'll leave that open, I guess, for now. All previous tasks are complete. Okay, I can now get on with my job, I assume. So... see if it... I mean, it hasn't told me to start moving. I'm assuming it's waiting for the scenario to start, but I'm going to start moving anyway, because it says collect train. Oh, that's neat. So I can... Your train is ready for coupling to. Okay, that's nifty. So I will just potter along here. The scenery here is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's a little odd. The textures are odd, but the scenery in and of itself is not bad. Get on the brakes. Will that change for me? No, it doesn't. Right, I have to do some manual changing of... interesting. I have to do manual changing of the points. Okay, something to note. Hopefully I don't have to do that all the way through, because I will mess this up. This isn't too bad at all. They've already got 3D grass, so that is nice to see. I think... what's the tracks like? These tracks are alright too. These are the tracks that I wanted to put on the Settle Carlisle Railway when I was trying to replace them, but I have no idea what these tracks are. Don't want to clatter into it at too fast a speed. I'm assuming I just have to bump up to this and it should couple. Unless I have to go to the coupling menu and actually couple it up, which is that button there. Oh no, I actually have to couple it. Oh, I can't. Oh, have I messed something up? I made an attempt to do something and I may have messed it up. It says couple. I haven't collected the train yet. Now I'm going to... Alright, well, let's back into it a bit more. As a... Hey, look, I've coupled to it. No, I have coupled to that. No, I haven't. There's the issue. Try and couple that. And now the train's doing something very strange. Hello. Interesting. Well, let's bump this again and not mess up this time. There we go. We are now coupled to it. Okay. Now we're going to move the train forward. I'm assuming. That was a bit slightly awkward. Oh, can I switch on lights on this train? No. Okay. Boiler pressure is low, which is great. I think the cylinder drains are working. That is good too. I guess I'll just stop here. Bits of jitter. Some frame rate issues. I'm here. Whistle. Is that going to tell me right away or something? Oh, yep, right away. In fact, it actually said right away. Let's go. Okay, we've got plenty of coal, plenty of water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut that drain off, see if it actually does what I think it's going to do. And it does. Good. Okay, we can now get underway. Boiler pressure might be a little low now, but that's okay. I'll deal with that. And we'll probably do most of this from the outside so that I can, as it said, enjoy the scenery and have a look around at what is and isn't being given. It's not terrible to look at. Lighting wise, it needs some improvement, that's for sure. There's definitely improvement that needs to be done. So it says stop at the following stations: Helston start point, but now it's telling me go over there, so that is what I'm going to do. The tiles are pretty well made. Sheep are a little bit obnoxious. So this is where we are, and that is where we are headed. This is the entire route. It's a fairly large route overall. Going into a 35. Boiler pressure is 81, that's fine. Coal is 94, water is 100, so we appear to be alright with that. There are some caution signals coming up, and a danger aspect as well. Sounds wise, as a steam engine, this isn't too bad. Sounds like a steam engine, so that isn't too bad at all. I'm gonna see if I can find a decent. Wait, that could be a. That's a tight corner. Let's see if I can find a decent screenshot. There's also that little squeal, which I do appreciate from the engine. This looks like something out of a model railway with the tightness of the curve. But these sorts of curves did exist, of course, on branch lines. So it isn't anything out of... Oh dear. This isn't anything out of the ordinary. I do need to be careful with this particular camera. Up there. And maybe there. As the thumbnail. Move that slightly further back. And zoom slightly further in. There we go, that could be the thumbnail. Get the train going past. Go back into that view, bring the HUD back. You know what, overall I'm okay with this. It isn't the standards I would expect, but this is fairly well done. Overall, this is fairly well done. If they put the new trees in that they've got, that would work quite well. And I think new textures on things like bridges and stations and buildings, whilst the ground textures can potentially remain the same. That's a nice viaduct. I think the ground textures could remain the same for the most part, because I think with the 3D, or with all the assets, the bushes, the grass, the whatever these pink flowers are, I think with all of those together, it does give it's a fairly decent look overall. They've even got birds flying around, crows, by the sounds of it. Oh, what's that in the distance that I just saw? Oh, those crows are still. There's something there. What is that? Oh, I think it's the volumetric fog or the distance fog that isn't quite working. They are loud. All these animals and everything are pretty loud compared to the train itself. I would expect the train to be the loudest of all. Boiler pressure is a little bit higher now, so I'm concerned. Don't know how to drop that boiler pressure. I'm thinking, should I try opening those drain valves again? We've got a yellow. I don't think that drops boiler pressure though. So we've got a yellow, and then we've got a danger signal coming up. So I'd say the distance signal was showing danger. But according to the map, that has now turned green. Boiler pressure high. How do I resolve this? What did I do last time? How did I drop the boiler pressure? Guess I just ran. No, that's really high. Somebody is probably going to tell me in the comments box how to drop the boiler pressure, but I have absolutely no idea. Very high boiler pressure, and we're going into where we're definitely speeding through this. Didn't see the 20 mark. Okay. I have no idea. I know the noise it's making. It's horrendous. Oh wait, I've got it sort of dropping. How am I doing this? I do not understand. I've opened those drains again, just to see what happens. Back up to really high pressures. What if I did that and really opened up the taps? Would that drop the boiler pressure? The train accelerates well. That is for sure. But yeah, I'm not entirely certain how to get. Maybe if I add water. Coal. Add coal. Okay, think about this. Open the firebox. Add coal. Cylinder drain open. Maybe it's one of these things. I do not know. It's not that one. It's not. It could be that one. No, this is not that one. Do bear with me. I can't add any water because the water's already at full. So that doesn't help. Is there any way for me to... I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's anywhere where it tells me how to handle the boiler pressure in this. Water valves. See, that's really, really high. So how do I open that up? I want it down there somewhere. That is where I want it. Well, we'll stop at the station and see what happens. Yeah, we'll stop at the station, see what happens, see how I can figure this one out. But there should be something to open to drain pressure from the boiler, and I thought that was the cylinder valves, the cylinder cocks that you open up on the side. That's where you get all the steam coming out the side of the train. I thought that was what it was. But apparently that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Which is concerning. Ooh, little goods train. Or goods consist, there's no. And a larger locomotive. Just going to deafen everyone in here, don't mind me. There we go, we've stopped. I wonder if that will drain anything. At this point in time, I get... Oh, that train's going to move. Is that picking up the goods or what? I have no idea. That has not helped. I think that is picking up goods. Coal is now full. What would happen if I close that? I'm going to try and figure this out. Open these two valves. Will that do anything to drop the pressure? Right away. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, hang on. I've had a drop in boiler pressure there. Because I use water in the... So hold on, that's the water level. I should be using... That says water high. Wait, what? Why is my water at 100% the entire time? So what is this? Water being injected at 0%. And that's the water level. So that's how much water I've got? Or is that how much is in the system? So if I do that... It says water high. Colour me confused. Colour me very confused. Boiler pressure has settled, which is good. Now I'm concerned that maybe it is this that I opened up. Let's find out, shall we? I'm now going to close those. Close the drain. And see what happens. Now the boiler pressure is okay. I'm okay with that boiler pressure. Dead in the middle. Not an issue. Potential screenshots, you see. Doesn't look too bad. Boiler pressure is now going up again. Boiler pressure high. Okay, let's open up these two valves, whatever these are. Something to do with water. And see... If I do that with the injectors, the problem is that that's injecting water into the system. Hang on, I've now opened... Okay, I think I've got it. Now the water is being used. The water is being used. Is that going to be trying to... No, that hasn't worked. That hasn't worked at all. This is unfortunately going to be very, very loud the entire way through. I'm stopping in a mile again, so I'll try and figure out what's going on from there. So, a couple of minutes, should be stopping. But I have absolutely no idea how to solve this issue. Start adding coal. Speeding a touch. Now the boiler pressure's right at the top again. So, what would happen if I close that? Water valve. Open that, see what happens. Open that, and that, and that, see what happens. I might be making it worse, I'll be honest. Potentially by adding more water to the system, I'm making this a lot worse. There is that to consider. Oh, that was loud. All the people down there. Is that another railway line or... No, it's a road. Okay, so plenty of boiler pressure problems that I am unable to figure out. I've not driven a steam engine in a very long time, and I cannot remember at all how to do this. Let's start injecting water because our water level is now at 58%. Maybe that will do something. We're just going to coast into the next platform. We are speeding apparently. so I'm going to be losing a lot of points just for speeding, but that's fine. The brakes are also very, very sharp. I have noticed that. Just coming to the station just with smoke billowing out everywhere. Let's get this train stopped. It stops very, very quickly. I'm not sure that's realistic, I'll be honest. That does not seem realistic at all. That the speed at which this train stops is... Look at that. Just stops. So, what I'm going to do now for the rest of this journey is I'm going to swap into this control mode and see, because this is what it feels more akin to, more like a model railroad or railway. So we'll just wait here. A little coaling stage right there. So that's how those work. Again, I have a few of those in Transports Fever 2. We have one more stop, which is going to be out there, however far away that is, 2.5 miles-ish. Right away. So let's just do that. Let it figure itself out, I guess. So this is in the simple control system. Some weird shading on the trees that perhaps needs to be looked into as well. So I think if these old trees get replaced by the new speed trees, or whatever they call them, trees with the Z, isn't it? That's it. The trees with the Z thing. Once they get replaced by that should make them look better. And then textures at the stations, buildings and bridges, improve those. And I think they should be alright. There is a new skybox coming apparently, very soon. So yes, do that, and I think that this particular route should be relatively alright when it comes to modern standards. So now I'm not having any issue with, well, anything, and that's because I'm not using any of the fancy things. There's a lot of clattering though. So a lot of clattering. So this appears to be 25 the entire way through, so this is probably going to take another it's going to take another 5 minutes or so to get to our destination from here at this speed, with the 15 coming up as well. Now the good thing about the simple controls is that I no longer need to worry about brakes. So in this case I can very much, as suggested, enjoy the scenery. I can hear those crows from here. That whistleboard also seems oddly new for the era this is in. And the cows are really loud too. Now unfortunately I also cannot hold the whistle for an extended period of time. So even if I press it and hold it, as you can see, So that is a bit of a shame. Apparently I have 3 stars somehow. Better than what I did last time. I was stuck with 1. But okay, so this is, as I said, this is all right. In many ways, the way the shading is, the texturing, everything is a bit flat, I think is the best way to describe it. On the train itself, the locomotive and carriages, everything just seems a bit flat. If they could work on some detail mapping, normal mapping, up the textures, inside as well, up these textures. As I said, this is not a big deal. Okay, well apparently the boiler pressure is going crazy even with the computer doing it, and it's trying to... That is the computer's resolution. Do that. I'm not sure how that's faring. So, firebox is open, injector 1 is on, flicking on and off. The boiler is definitely far too... the pressure in the boiler is far too high. That appears to be what it's doing. Odd. I think this is something that N3V, or and whatever you want to call them, need to go back and do. They need to go back to this and say, you know what? Let's refurbish these lines. And I think that would go a long way. That would definitely go a long way. And this is probably, considering what the textures are like, I'm looking at the various different textures, I'm thinking this might be one of the easiest to do. Certainly this is not on the scale of something like the East Coast Main Line, which would be a very big job. Thinking about it. Ooh, one of the white signs, not the yellow ones. Pre-1930s sign. One of those, they whistle a lot. What bell does this have? Does this actually have a bell? Apparently it does. Okay, apparently there is a bell. That braking was rather sudden. So this is what I mean, that it feels like, or it seems like this is more designed for this sort of operation than the realistic operation that I was trying. The trains do not seem to work quite as well. There's a gap there. Oh, here comes an odd texture. Normally when you see pink, that means that there is a texture issue. Paddington, Plymouth. Oh, are these the stops for? I'm assuming these are the stops. St Ives, Penzance. What's the one at the back? Weymouth? Yep, Weymouth. I want to see what that pink one is, the broken one. This is nice though. I do like this detail that they've put in here, where they've got multiple trains with multiple types of carriages all working their way in. Right, there it is. What does that say? insert... No, text in here. Okay, so there's something perhaps for quality control to look at. Given that this has been around since 2019 and not fixed, that is what I would call somewhat poor. But let's just stop this train, shall we? There we are. End of... Okay. End of line. Is that actually going to end the session? I'm assuming that's going to end the session. Oh, and you're on your way again. So I'm assuming this is quite an important station. Mind the gap. So Paddington, Plymouth. Text in here. I wonder how that's happened. Weymouth. Paddington again. Plymouth. St Ives and Penzance. Weymouth, and that's the end of it. Apparently, I have to go further forward. I've just realised it's not letting me do this. It's not accepting it. For some reason. Even though I'm well within the platform. I guess it wants me to be here. That's why it hasn't done it. That was annoying. But that is, I suppose, the end of this particular video. There's, again, positives and negatives out of this one. It does... This looks better than, far better than the Cecil and Carlisle route. I would have thought that this would be the level of detail at the very least on the Cecil and Carlisle routes, but unfortunately it was not. So that's fine. Let's see. Apparently, somehow, I have got 5 stars. A perfect run. I doubt it was, but there we go. Excellent. Thank you very much for watching. Please, Intercity. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Trainz Plus. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think, any suggestions you might have. If anybody knows how to get one of those trains, I've been trying here. So if anyone knows how to select one of these trains and then select a route, and just run that train with specific consists on that route, that would be great. Because I do want to try some of these newer ones and see what the detailing is like on these, so that I have an idea of where they're actually going. But I cannot figure out how to do that. I might try that for the next video. But yes, if you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Trainz Plus.